The sun has unleashed a lot of energy into our world, and we're experiencing a lot of chaos. And today, we're going to learn the truth about solar flares, the sun, and the chaos that we're experiencing in our everyday lives in the now moment. We could start the live stream with chaos. So it's it's good to see everyone. If you're tuned in today, I'm going to be sharing a lot of deep truths, allowing people to think very deeply, getting back in tune with our body, which is telling us where we're headed as a species in the reality that we're experiencing. Solar flares do guide us through this evolutionary journey that we're all on. And I'm going to ask you questions throughout this talk today. And, you have to think about your relationship with the sun, with nature. All right. And when you don't have the right relationship with the sun, with nature, you might be out of balance. And this is a course correction that we're all living through in the now moment. I know there's a lot of people that are tuned in, and you might say, I noticed that society has been out of balance, out of alignment. So as we go through a lot of the talking points in today's lesson, you will be able to shift your reality. And by doing so, because there's something that we're trying to achieve through this great energetic shift, it's called reaching critical mass. And as we reach critical mass, great changes are occurring. In recent times, you might go out and you say, I see a lot of revealing of truths. They say there are three things you cannot hide forever: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So this is a time period of revelation. And as we continue to go through these massive explosions of these energetic solar flares, they are changing us at a subconscious level. And that's why, and I'm going to break this down to a fine powder today, you might be experiencing emotions, all these things, because the solar flares are talking. This is a shocking truth that I'm learning today. The solar flares are talking to something. Yeah, they're talking to your subconscious. It's a deep, we're going to go very deep today. We're live. I'm very grateful. If you could click the like button in the now moment, others will learn this information. So people might feel during this time, you say, I might feel a little lost in the chaos. All right. Is that you? Do you feel a little lost in the chaos? And that's okay. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world. Light is information. And once you come to terms that it's not just I could see things. Okay. So if there was no light and you're in a dark room, right, you don't have the information to navigate the room. You turn the lights off. So that the lights are on. Now I can see. I'm not going to trip over the coffee table. I'm not going to stub my toe, so on and so forth. Light is information. And when I go through this lesson today, and there's many people around the world that are tuned into this, you're going to start off with light is information. You're going to write these things down. Because when you change your relationship, when you have an understanding, all of a sudden now your life improves and it's not out of balance any longer. Bay Area believer, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm very grateful for the support. And Noah, thank you for the super chats before we went live. I'm very grateful for the support, Noah. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate everyone. Thank you. And these are for people, some people that are tuned in. You are already on your conscious journey. You're on your awakening journey, and this will be shocking to many people that just say, you got a suntan, and that's the end. Solar flares communicate to the subconscious. So there are many people. I just had a chat the other day with a woman in the sauna, and we're sitting there, and she might be watching right now, and she's saying, "Oh yeah, I had all these emotions lately coming up." So anyone that's tuned into this, so you feel these deep emotions that are coming up to the surface right now, all the emotions that have to come up. You might feel more sensitive to things. So the solar flares are changing us at a subconscious level. And this is important and imperative for us to move forward, because 95% of the reality that you're experiencing is dictated by the subconscious. And if you have the wrong subconscious programs running, that we're not going to have this great change that we're kind of expecting in the world. And you're going to understand why you are actually changing the world. You're doing it. Yeah. We're all doing it collectively. So when we have these solar flares, you have the emotions and feelings that are coming up. You might have bodily changes that you're going through. Some people call them ascension symptoms. These are the deep, dense traumas and emotional baggage that you have held within you for your whole life. And I want everyone to really think about the frequency of the sun, your relationship with the sun, and the relationship that we're all carrying. The sun is driving evolution, and with evolution, there is pain, a Heinrich metamorphosis. As we look into the world right now, there's a lot of pain in the world. And to go through the transformation, the caterpillar is crawling on the floor, and all of a sudden it's time to sprout its wings. So it's got to go in the cocoon, and then it's got to go through Heinrich metamorphosis, and then its insides are like liquefying. Do you think it feels, this feels so good? So there's a lot of pain. But when the caterpillar comes out of the cocoon, now it can fly from a higher dimensional plane. It's no longer crawling on the floor. You, the person that's getting this message, you might have said, you know what, there's something wrong in the world. Is that you? We all kind of said that, right? If you're tuned in this far into the message, where you going around your everyday life, and you could say, you know what, there is something wrong with the world. And for there to be a change, there has to be a great energy to change it at the functional level, all right? Like an operating system of the world. So we have operating systems within our body. The world is operating at a certain way. So there has to be this massive reset, and there are instructions. Light is information. So now, so I understand that there will be some people that say, this is new, or this is shocking, If you have the mindset, and everyone can have their own mindset, that the sun is sentient, that the sun has consciousness. So, and again, we're live. We have a live chat. We have a community. We have the comment section, and you could put your input into this. But it's all going to go down to relationship. And if you really focus throughout this message, you're going to see how this massive change can happen for your life. So the sun, if you have the thought process that the sun is sentient, that the sun has consciousness, it is a fundamental feature of all, that all things have consciousness, that are sentient. The sun, if you think about the instructions, the sun, the complex electromagnetic rhythms can act as a neural interface. So think about the rhythms, the Hermetic principle of rhythm. There are certain pulses. There are certain directions. We're going to go back to light is information. Light is information. So the sun is sending off these flashes, these flares, to send this information to us, to the world, the directions of how the code in the DNA Oh, I know. I know. You thought you had junk DNA. I know. Were you taught? Were you taught years ago that you had junk DNA? Oh, most of your DNA is just junk, right? But when you understand that 93% of the function of DNA is responsible for light and sound reception and transmission, all of a sudden your relationship starts to change. You were numb to a lot of these things. I get that a lot. You know, they say, Michael, why are some people feeling the ascension symptoms and some people are numb? They're not getting anything. And the answer is because your subconscious has a lot to deal with it. What is your relationship with the sun? We're going very deep today. And in this time period where we clearly see that the sun is sending off energy like never before, there's nothing to deny at this point. I'm going to ask you the question, what is your relationship with the sun? What is your relationship with nature? Right? Are you constantly hiding from the sun? You stay in your house. You got to put the sunglasses on every time you go outside. I don't know, but you know your relationship with the sun. Do you like going out in nature? Do you enjoy a beach day or going out in the park? What is your relationship with the sun? And that's where the subconscious comes into play. Now, these energies are coming in. We're all part of the world right now. Soul Star Productions writes, pew, pew. We're being blasted right now. All right. And so there is chaos. And the reason why there's chaos is because there are things, there are programs in your subconscious that are rising up to the surface in the now moment. So now you have all this crazy emotion that's coming up. The energy is coursing through you. And now you have emotions. Well, what are emotions? Emotions, it's energy in motion. That's what emotion means. And the emotions are coming up to the surface. And maybe as you go through these energetic shifts, there are things in your life. You said, you know what, I lived this way my whole life, or I never felt this way before. And now I've realized what's truthfully important. So it's not just about, you know, there's a little, there's heat. It's actually a lot of the areas are cold. We're living through very crazy weather anomalies at this time, right? Laura Penn, right on cue, is writing about what they're experiencing in the UK. Where are you located, and are you experiencing weird weather patterns wherever you're located around the world in this realm? Okay, and when you start to think differently, and you're sitting there and you say, okay, so you have these massive solar flares, and you know, some people just go for the fear. They go for the fear and they say, you know, there's a big, great balls of fire coming from the sky. So, okay, that could be your existence. But when you shift your consciousness and you start to say, oh, there are certain rhythms, and the sun has complex electromagnetic rhythms, and it's acting as a neural interface. And what are the relationships that certain people or other sentient beings have with the sun, with nature? You know, a lot of this, and it goes to everyday life health. If you want to improve your health and wellness, you could click subscribe. I appreciate that. And I teach a lot of things that you might have never known. Some people in the world suffer from nature's deficit disorder. You're not out in nature. You get to take the rubber soles off. And I get it. And years ago, I would say, you know, what's the big deal about, you know, just walking barefoot in nature? Changes your life. Negative ions of the planet going through the body, releasing the trapped emotions that you have, walking in nature, being out in the sun. Everyone that's tuned in has a different relationship with nature. Everyone, you know, has their life journey. But one of the things that's not stopping is this great solar flash event. I've been sharing over the past few days. I know there's more people that are get tuned into this. You're becoming aware of what's happening with the sun right now. This is happening with or without you. Do you get it? And there's really nothing to be scared of. But the fact of the matter is, when our subconscious is reset, when our nervous system is being reset, we have the solar flares that light is information, and some of this light is beyond the visible light spectrum that we see with our eyes. So some people, they say, oh, it doesn't exist because I can't see it, but it is affecting us at a very deep level. A lot of the stuff that I'm sharing right now, they're not going to share on the TV. TV? I get all my information on the TV. They told me on the news. Okay. Right? What is your reality? The band of frequencies. The story that you tell yourself. What is the relationship that you have with the world? What is the story that you tell yourself about in the world? That's why, to answer some people's question, why people are numb, some people live in a world in their imagination, which is also what the sun is giving us. You answer the question, is the world out to get you, or are you a creator being in this world and we're creating things? Does the sun create life? You have to understand the stuff that I'm saying right now, because you might have been programmed. You might have been programmed since you were younger. You got to run away from the sun. You got to stay inside. You got to cover up. Or are you outside? Oh, the floor's dirty, right? I shared that before. Years ago, you say, oh, you get dirt on your feet. I do it daily now, daily. I video daily, 9 a.m. Eastern too. Click subscribe. I appreciate you. Right? So these are the shifts that are occurring. And a lot of the things that, you're hearing here, it could be shocking to people that are new. I get that too. I mostly walk in the sand. So when you're thinking about, what is unlocking inside of you, unlocking the dormant DNA codes that are inside of you. We are photovoltaic, Lowell. Appreciate you being here. And these are things that, as the collective, there are many people that are receiving instructions for their body to reset their nervous system. This is something I've been sharing about for years on this channel. You could check out my full video on nervous system reset, electromagnetic energy. Think about your nerves. I try to simplify things for people so it's relatable for the everyday life man and woman. All right, think about your nervous system. Think about the electricity coursing through your nerves. So now we have electromagnetic energy resetting the nervous system. Especially in a post-2020 world, you might have been calibrated to fight or flight mode. You might have been calibrated to survival mode. So now we're getting instructions from the solar flares to reset our nervous system so that we could be ready to receive. Because if your nervous system is not reset, you will never receive the abundance, the love, the reality. You're literally tuned into a different reality according to your nervous system and your subconscious. And a lot of people that are tuned in, you know about this year. It's the 1 year. It's the new beginning. We see the correlation with the sun. And I want everyone to really focus on this, because each and every one of us, I've shared the term critical mass. I know there's a lot of people that understand critical mass. Each person that changes their frequency from scarcity to abundance not only changes their own experience, they contribute to the collective field. You make it easier for other people to shift as well. And that's why, when you're getting this information and we're doing this right now and putting our best foot forward, if you will, we're not only doing it for our lives, we're doing it for the collective as well. Noah, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for the support. I'm grateful for the super chat. Stranger Things is a documentary. All things are possible in the yellow. It is the year of the horse. Yeah, I appreciate you, Noah. The horse, are the horsemen here? We were hanging out on the beach. I know the horsemen are here. No, it's the year of the horse. Fire horse, solar flare, the Holy Spirit fire. We got to move fast. You know, anyone that's tuned in right now, everyone this year, this is still the beginning of 2026 when I'm filming this. This video will last, and it will be very potent throughout the year whenever you receive it. I mean, how fast is this year gone already? Look at where we are. Are you perceiving the quickening? What is your relationship with time? Is time speeding up for you? Let us know in the comments. Portia Bull, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm very grateful. Good morning. What is the causing of the red rash reaction eyes? Thank you so much for the super chat. I mean, I've shared from my journey. My eyes have been sensitive to the screens. All right. Last night, we had a Zoom on Patreon. The video is up for anyone that's on Patreon. And, people see my blue blockers. Even right now, I feel the sensitivity in my eyes. So anyone else that wants to share in this energy right now, do you have eye sensitivity? Are the screens like it's kind of like your eyes are kind of sensitive to the screens? And I have blue blockers for the screens. Leo Born, thank you so much for the super chat. Divine light and divine vibrations. Feel the vibrations. I appreciate that, Leo. I'm very grateful. Okay. So, think about that. Every person who changes their frequency from scarcity to abundance, from victimhood to creator, from NPC mode to creator mode, every person that does it not only changes their own experience, but you're changing and contributing to the collective field. And I've also been, sharing about that with grounding. When you walk barefoot on the surface of the earth, you are part of that collective field, and we're all being bathed with this energy right now. When you think about epigenetics, your surroundings are going to dictate your reality. There are vibrational frequencies that are affecting, what we have here. It's always the I am, it's always the internal, but the more you have the leakages in your life, again, there are many things. You have no idea how powerful you are. You got to listen very carefully. You have no idea how powerful you are. And that's what we teach on this channel, on this podcast today. But everything carries that vibrational signature. So if you have the 3 T's, the toxins, the trauma, the negative thoughts, your surroundings are negative. You have to sleep peacefully at night. You have to, what the main reason is that nervous system has got to be calm. That nervous system is actually dictating the reality that we're experiencing, your nervous system. Now, I teach about health and wellness. You get cortisol levels. You want to have six pack, you want to have flat stomach. Well, a lot of times it's not actually fat. It's cortisol from stress in your everyday life. One of the things that we have to learn is how to mitigate. We're all going to have stress. I've mitigated a lot of stress in my life, but it always pops up. So on our journey, it is about consistency, right? It is about lifestyle, right? And that's why I said, what is your relationship with the sun? What is your relationship with nature? Are you going out, especially during this time? All right. Are you grounding? Do you have the sun on you, healing? Or is your relationship, you want to hide in the basement? It's your relationship. And that relationship can be with, you could apply that to anything in your life. because it's that subconscious. What is your relationship with the world? Is the world out to get you? Or is the world here? Is it your playground? Oh, Warriors, come out and play. You going to come out and play? Well, it's like I did a video. It was a powerful video. It was a simple topic. And the question was, don't you want to have fun? Come out and play. It's your relationship. It's your perspective of life. Appreciate everyone in the chat. When you think about what is being unlocked in the information, light is information. Years ago, I did a video out on the beach, the preparation to accept. And I know that there's actual movement from people, but where are we getting the directive for this great spiritual awakening? People are a lot of truth is being revealed. All right, you could connect on Facebook. We have a tremendous Facebook community. A lot of people are sharing a lot of these truths on Facebook that are popping up right now. So I want everyone just to step back. If you say, okay, what's the whole thing, the sun and all this other stuff? Okay, so we see the correlation right now. The sun is blasting away these solar flares. And at the same time, ready? At the same time, there's these big revelations in the world. There's these big truths that are being revealed. Do you see the correlation? Light is the top of the scale, the consciousness scale, the tippy top is the truth. Light, the truth, right? So we are in this, and it is a chaotic time. It's quantum chaos. It is a chaotic time. There's a lot of chaos, but from this chaos, there is going to come this reality. You know, and I've shared in my life, I teach people how to truthfully manifest. Anyone that wants to check out my manifestation playlist, in order for me to get from one place to the other, from point A to point B in my life, I had to go through, and I went through 2 years of total chaos in my life. I joke around with my buddies. I said, I was like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. I got picked up, spun around, and here I am. And I didn't know myself how to do it, but all these events popped up. And it was total chaos. So now I need you to step back. I need you to step back. And people that have been studying this about the world, and you know that there's a big transfer that's happening this year, right? This is the year one. This is the year of new beginnings. So how are we going to get from point A to point B? You have to go through the chaos. We must go through the chaos. We have to go through this bridge of incidents, all these strange things that are happening, because the densities of the past, especially for humanity, must come up to the surface. And a lot of the things that I'm sharing today, you might not have never known. It could be shocking to many people that are new to this. I thought the sun, I could just get a suntan. I thought I had there's so much more to what we had in our subconscious that drove the programming of the reality that we experienced. And if you had a fear-based program, if you have a fear-based program of the sun, of the world that we live in, that is your reality. So we are getting this instruction. We are getting this information from the light in the now moment. Portia Bull, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm very grateful for the support. I love you. I appreciate you. And people could be, I sit back and, some people are receptive and some people are shocked by these things. Again, it is the person, you got to get to that core frequency. And the more that you fight against it, if I go to the beach and there's a big wave coming, that wave, don't matter how big you are, how strong you are, that wave's going to knock you over. So you have to be able to accept the preparation to accept. Years ago, when I did that video, I feel that the world as a whole, the critical mass of the world, they were not ready to accept the deep truths of what has been going on in the world. How many people are tuned into this right now? Okay. I'm reading the chat. Are we glitching, or do you see me? You could hit 555 if you hear me clearly. We've already had two glitches already now, I guess. So when you think about this, all right, thank you. Was the world prepared? You know, when I left that maybe 6 years ago. Think about in a pre-2020 world, was the world prepared for all this truth to be released? We had to go through the preparation to accept. And when you go through it, I'm just reading the chat right now. We are glitching. I appreciate if everyone clicks the like button, push us through the glitch. But I've shared. Sometimes when I share a powerful video, I will actually experience the live stream. Some people were on, earlier this year, and we had the craziest glitches. But again, this is all energy to Wi-Fi. So think about this stuff. There's so much energy that is all over the place right now, just because we can't see it. All right, let's go back to the beginning of the lesson. Right, the light is the information. All right, you could see visible light, but there's other lights that you can't see. There's other energies we can't see. Can you see the Wi-Fi? Can I see the Wi-Fi? Can I see I can't. Maybe some people could see it, right? Like, for example, there are people that can see auras on other people. Oh my God, you could see the beautiful aura, right? And some people can't. So just because you can't see an energy, it doesn't mean that these things don't exist. The invisible, the subconscious, listen carefully, the invisible, the subconscious is greatly and exponentially more powerful than the conscious, what you see. I know there's people that are conscious creators that you've been on this journey, and people will be tuned in that are new, right? And my job is really to expand those that this is new to. It's not an easy thing to do. So it could shock people, all right? The invisible is much more powerful than the visible. The subconscious is much more exponentially more powerful than the conscious. And in order for us to take this quantum leap at a subconscious level, the inner energies within all of us must be reset. It must be, you can't do it. You understand? And that's why I encourage people, the more that you are, expanding what you're learning on a daily basis. Are you consuming quality information on a daily basis? Are you eating the right foods? What you consume is not only what you eat and drink, it's what you watch and what you listen to. So when all of a sudden you get this high energetic stuff, this has been happening, ascension symptoms, for years for many people. And you go through this is not the first time we've been blasted with solar flares, but this is one of the biggest events we've ever experienced. And who knows where it's going as it continues. What you consume. You might be tuned in, and you could say to yourself, well, I used to eat this food, and now all of a sudden I don't want to eat this food no more. I can't eat it no more. I used to eat this, right? Anyone that's tuned in, right? So then there might come a time that you were tuned into, what you were listening to, what you were watching, and then you're changing. You're changing at an energetic level. I can't listen to this no more. No, I can't watch this no more. So that's why we're going through this massive shift. So you could see this with the foods, and now you're changing. You can't eat that food no more. I don't even eat breakfast anymore. How many people don't eat breakfast anymore? Right? I fast past noon. And I think that a lot of us, once you're breaking the programs that you were given, you get back to nature. You get back to the original state. A lot of us weren't in the original state. We were given, and we were operating off of programs. That's why I tell people, you got to get out of that brain and you got to get out to the heart. You know, I've read the comments. A lot of people with the solar flares, you might feel, your heart palpitations and stuff. Yeah, our taste buds have changed, Cliff. Our palate has changed. And you're going to be called to implement. I have a full video on the channel page on this, to implement these new ways of life, the new modalities. I'm going to eat this. I was trained, you were programmed to eat one way. And then when you get back to nature, when you get back to balance, when you're receiving the codes and you're upgrading, then you say, oh, now I'm going to eat this way because it resonates with me. I share this. This is the most important thing I share on this channel. You do you. You don't need gurus or anyone else to tell you how to live your everyday life. What I teach is how a person can get back, right, to the internal, ready? The internal authority, and you're going to make your decisions, okay? And if that resonates, I appreciate it if you click subscribe. Smash the heck out of the like button. I appreciate that. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so grateful for you. I love you. Appreciate you being here since the beginning. Sharon writes, out with the old and in with the new. A lot of release of old energy today, and fasting is free. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, there's nothing to pay for fasting. You actually save money. And, I do the intermittent fasting. I did a 3-day fast. You can watch my full video, how to reset your body for optimal health. I always encourage people, if they're new to this and they're really on their health and wellness and they want to reset, I refer that video. Detoxification. So the sun does detoxify us, right? And for us on our journey, it's always best for us to assist it along. I've shared, if God prunes things from your life, you don't put it back. You learn, you don't put it back. So if you have detoxed yourself, right, you don't put the chemicals back in. Do you understand? So, and this is truthfully the shift that we have been waiting for, and we are getting directions, light codes. I know there's people that are tuned in. You hear about the light codes. You're on your spiritual journey. You hear about the light codes. So the directions, the information. You have to look at nature to understand this. When you see a plant grow towards the light, it knows, right? When the spring comes, right? And all of a sudden you see the anthills pop up. They know this penetrates the earth, and then they come up. The information. You might question say, oh, the sun is a sentient being, or so on and so forth. It's not talking. You ever talk to a plant? I know there's people that are tuned in. You talk to a plant. Okay, you have to see the science experiment when the guy speaks to water and the crystals, and if the information that was spoke to the water. And what I'm doing, I'm trying to reach the people that say, you might be new to this. You say, okay, well, the sun has consciousness and all this stuff. Well, you ever sit under a tree? You ever talk to a plant? You have a plant in your home, right? I mean, we could kind of see that when we talk to our dogs and cats and stuff, right? But what about the plants? And I know some people see that. What about water? What about that water experiment when the words were spoken and the different crystals were formed? The different crystals were formed in the water. Galactic Plays Games. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. How does light affect genetic code? Just keep going. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You know, and again, when you think about the DNA receptors, you know, and they share how DNA is coiled like the Tesla coil, and you know, it's just really like we're all receiving instructions, you know, and we're all kind of on this journey. Galactic plays games, and the more instructions that we see, we have to look at other things in our life and see how they operate. And we're kind of putting the pieces together. But through trial and error, anyone that's hearing this, you know how you feel when you have a beautiful day out in the sun. You have to go to your body, and not because people tell you to put sunglasses on and stay inside. That's a program. Do you understand? That's a program. Put sunglasses on, stay inside. Okay. Or there's people, oh, I had a great time on the beach, right? You got a suntan. How do you feel? You have to go with the feelings and emotions. You were trained to shove your feelings and emotions down. Ronnie, people pay with their ego for their own handcuffs, if you will. I see these people, Ronnie, they got to spend $500 for the fancy sunglasses, right? I don't wear no sunglasses. Do you? So again, it's always your relationship. It's always the subconscious and the nervous system. It's the golden handcuffs, Claudine. It's absolutely. Diane writes, "Missed the sun, been cloudy here." Yeah, it's very rough. And so we could even, and that's a negative thing, but think about that, you know, and people go through the seasonal depression. You don't see the sun. And all of a sudden, you know how you feel. And I teach about relationships on this channel. You can check out my relationship videos. You know, how do you feel? You know, people are in denial of their heart. How do you feel? That is the answer. Stop operating out of, and this is the whole shift. This is the shift from you still have to use your brain for certain things, but what the balance is heart-brain coherence, or in science, it's called achieving hemisync. There has to be balance in your life. And there's a lot of people that are rational because they told me, because these people told me how to live. So now you're living in fear. You're afraid of the sun. You're afraid of love. You're afraid of these things because people put the programs, and this has been passed through society. So now we're getting information, we're getting codes to clear the subconscious programs that are running in the background, to reset our nervous system, unlocking the dormant codes that have been within you. I could reflect on my everyday life journey. Okay, I am not the same person that I was 7 years ago. This has been a 7-year journey for me here on YouTube. I'm grateful for everyone. I'm grateful for YouTube. And gratitude is gonna change your life. All right, if that resonates, put a like on the video. I'm grateful for the like. This is a journey. There's no magical pill. There's no magical potion. There's no magical crystal. There is no finish line to ascension. There's no finish line. This game is being upgraded right now. Reality is shifting right now. And every time the sun is giving off codes, it is your, I think more and more people are becoming open-minded to this, and it is your free will decision to reject it. But for those that are making it through this, because this is not, I mean, you could leave a comment if you've studied this. Is this going to just magically stop? Or is this going to keep going? We had a very powerful Zoom meeting on Patreon last night, and I shared with the community, like there's people, and in the group of friends from a long time, we have one person that just constantly thinks, oh, we're going to go back to pre-2020. So it's always the mindset. It's the mindset of growth, or are we going backwards? So this is where we have to shift our limiting beliefs to creator mode. Ashley Gold 444. I appreciate you. Yes, thank you. Dr. Masaru Emoto. He was the one that did the water. If water changes its shape based on your spoken word and intent, just imagine what it can do to your body. Words matter, absolutely. And think about that. Don't put negativity. You know, I appreciate all the positivity for the channel. I push positivity back. A lot of us went through traumas, and that's why, you know, we have to have our nervous system reset. Always put positivity out there. And, you know, Dr. Masaru Emoto, as you mentioned him, he did an experiment with a triangle, and it hits the triangle, and the same exact triangle, his assistant is like away from it, and he hits it, and then the other triangle, it matches up the same, and it starts vibrating at the same frequency. So if you go back to the beginning of the lesson today that Michael's teaching, each person who changes their frequency from scarcity to abundance, from NPC mode to creator mode, not only changes their own experience, they contribute to the collective field, and you are making it easier for other people to achieve this frequency. This is a tremendous lesson today. It might shock many people. This might be new information. This is the truth. And anyone that's listening to this, and you're on this journey, and you're like, you're sick and tired of the false lies and everything, the truth is coming to the surface. The truth is coming to the surface. And that's why when you have these emotions that are coming to the surface for you, those emotions are guiding you to your highest calling. So it's one of our tremendous YouTube shorts. You could check out my YouTube shorts, right? Keep you motivated. We have a lot on this channel if you're new. So I'm very grateful for the community support. The poet writes a tremendous video today. It's my honor to do this. And, you know, I appreciate the positive feedback loop by all of you sharing it, you know, leaving a comment if it resonates. And I hope that just like that was a great demonstration of the triangle. You know, we went full circle here. Each person that's changing their frequency right now, you're actually assisting the collective. So that's why I'm putting this out for the world. Anyone that gets this message can really benefit, and we're actually benefiting each other. Okay, Robert, Brian, I appreciate the kind words. All right, Jen, I appreciate the kind words. Beautiful people, the beautiful people, the beautiful people. So it's always about the beautiful people. You remember that? So, and we have a good time. If you see me for the first time, you could click subscribe. Daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. And, you know, I share about my everyday life on this channel. As we move forward into this age of authenticity, we need to see the real life evidence, right? We need to see it as changes. And that's why I did a very powerful video last year, how God reveals the truth to you. I encourage everyone to watch it. You know, this is how God has revealed these truths to me. And you're going to go through the trial and error, and you're going to get this information, and you're going to see how you feel. And the better that you feel when you're connected to nature, the sun, so on and so forth, this is going to rock your world, right? It's going to, and our world is being rocked right now. So I love you all. You know, check out. I'll have a video at the end of this on the replay. New video up on Patreon. I'm grateful for everyone across the board. Hit me up on Facebook. Our Facebook is growing. I post throughout the day on Facebook. We have live streams on Facebook as well. We got TikTok, Instagram. Utilize the hashtag OurEverydayLives. And I guess that's everything. I love you guys so much. And I hope this message inspires you, empowers you, and get you on the best timeline for your everyday life. And Herbs VIP, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so grateful for the support. I love you very much. I'm very grateful. And I'm grateful when everyone shares this. And I'll see you throughout the day on Facebook. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. Love you guys. Bye for now.